sunny day. I'm picking up a line. I'm picking up a line. All we wanted is coming on a sunny day. I'm picking up a line. I'm picking up a line. All we wanted is coming. Outside, we don't go when it's cold. Tonight, the frost is gone. We wake inside the pouring rain.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Please, please, please please make sure that you guys pull on up to this live this morning. We're going to have a conversation. Good morning, Cece. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is well and doing well. Praise the name of the Lord. I'm looking forward to this conversation and looking forward to talking to y'all this morning. We got us a little bit of stuff that we need to discuss this morning. Amen. What's up, Uncle Fred? What's up, Nicole? Good to see you here. Good to see you here, Mary. Good to see all of you guys coming on in. And for those of you, of course, who will be watching the replay, good morning, Glenn. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to everyone. I have got a message this morning that I need to give you guys. And I'm going to wait for a few more of you guys to get in here this morning before I start. I am in my comfortable attire today. Oh, listen here. Let me explain to you guys a couple of things, and we're going to have us a good old conversation this morning. Hey, Nicole, see, this morning's program is being brought to you by Pearl. I titled the video this morning, "When Pearl Calls Your Phone, You Just Hang Up." That's what I titled this video. Now, let me explain something to you all. I realize that I am and have been, and this is going to sound braggadocious, but I'm not trying to be braggadocious. I'm just trying to let you all know that I am, I know I'm good at what I do. I know that some people tend to live in the land of jealous behavior because they have to pretend to do a whole lot of things in order to garner following and folks and all of that kind of stuff. I get all of that, but this morning I want to introduce you to a character. I want to introduce you to a character. And we're going to talk about this character. Let me go ahead. I'm pulling this up as I'm speaking to y'all, so be patient with me. We're going to, and I need to tell y'all what's going on with this individual and why all of this is being ramped up. Now, I had already told my moderators that when certain individuals move, quote unquote, out of town, that they were going to begin to ramp up their disrespect, and they were going to do all sorts of things to garner my attention, because it's different when you live in the same state with the person and the person can just drive up to your house versus when you are in another location and you think you're untouchable. And I recognized that was going to be the modus operandi. I was already prepared for that. I want to say something to you all, and listen to me very carefully. Listen to me very carefully. Number one, It is illegal to call someone's phone who has not asked you for the phone call and to make repetitive phone calls to an individual. Telecommunications harassment is a very real thing. I have not warranted nor have I invited this individual to call my phone. I have communicated that they have no longer a right to call my phone, and I did so by ending those conversations. Understand something, ladies and gentlemen. I am not like the rest of these other vloggers. When I come for you, you will already have been got before you knew that you were going to be got. I'm not going to get on here and tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it. Okay. So that's that. I want to introduce you all to a character that I have paid a close amount of attention to. And I want to share this character with you all. And we're going to talk a little bit about this character. And so we're going to talk about this character, and we're going to do that right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do that right now. Now, if you are unfamiliar with the movie Blade, Blade is a movie that Wesley Snipes did based upon a comic book character, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you a revelation of Pearl here in a minute. We're going to walk through this and we're going to get a great understanding of Pearl. Pearl, I'm going to give you who Pearl is before let's do this. Let me tell you who Pearl is while this is loading. Let's talk about Pearl. Pearl was the record keeper and the archivist for the Vampire Council. Pearl on the YouTube streets is the slovenly caretaker and runner for Dr. Scrotum Sniffer, who seems to come on the internet and try their very best to, garner a response from other vloggers and try to, come in their chats, get on their phone. This vlogger is just a cowardly individual. I'm gonna break Pearl down for y'all this morning. We're gonna talk about Pearl. Right. Who wears slip-on sneakers. Right. Pearl was the archivist. I want you to understand, Pearl is extremely obese. In other words, Pearl is a fat ass. Pearl is extremely obese. Pearl smells. When you enter into Pearl's presence, the first thing that you will notice is an extremely grotesque odor. There is always stinking things around Pearl. Pearl is not surrounded by the upper echelon of the YouTube community. Pearl is always surrounded by some shit. Oh, you better hang on to your hats. Pearl is shit. Pearl smells like shit. And Pearl is always causing some shit. Okay? Let me continue. I want y'all to understand. Pearl is so grotesque and obese to an almost grotesque degree. Pearl is shown as a massive, pay attention, immobile figure who is confined to a large chamber or chair or location and is always sitting in front of computer terminals. Pearl is sitting in a place because Pearl does not have the ability to move. Pearl is immobile. And when Pearl does move, Pearl cannot move as fluid as the rest of us in society. Pearl is always on shaky ground because Pearl is trying to hold up a whole lot of stuff on a bunch of marshmallow toes and some orthopedic shoes. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention. I'm trying to teach you about Pearl today. Pearl is the one who is trying to always do the business of the vampire nation, or the vlogger who is always trying to suck the life out of their followers and their Patreons folks and the folks that are surrounded by them. Pay attention to me. I tell you, I'm walking heavy this morning. This is me walking heavy this morning. Come on now. Now let me explain to you something about Pearl. Pearl's gender is ambiguous. We don't really know what Pearl is. Pearl might be a he. Pearl might be a she. Pearl might refer to themselves as mother. Oh, just call me old mother. We don't know what Pearl is. For those of you that are old enough to remember, it's kind of like the old SNL character Ass Pat. We don't know what Pearl is. Pearl is just slovenly, huge, and grotesque. Pearl is always going down through the archives of YouTube, seeking whom they may attach themselves to suck the life out of their followers and their following, trying to grow as more grotesque and obese as they possibly can through the work of others. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Pearl this morning. Pearl, if you understand Pearl, has a blotchy, pallid skin, which is typical of bloodsuckers and people who are constantly trying to suck the life out of other YouTubers and other people who are doing their work. Yes. Pearl has, and I think that is a wonderful point, has titties at the top and at the bottom. Bless the Lord. We're moving along. Pearl is one of these individuals who just doesn't understand that I personally will not be driven into a public feud with Pearl. Pearl has not yet figured out that because you are so grotesque and disgusting, and you can be bought with cash apps, and you can be bought to do the bidding of other individuals, Pearl has not yet figured out that I do not give a freaking care about Pearl. Y'all with me? Y'all here? You understand? You're hanging on with me? Y'all hang on. And with that being said, because I am going to go ahead and give you some more information on Pearl in just a minute. But let's go ahead and watch a brief little clip. And I got to give some commentary to this for copyright reasons. Okay. Let me go ahead and do that. Hold on one second here. Hold on one second. All right. We're talking about Pearl this morning. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, let me put on my headphones because I got to hear this no, I'll put it in front of me. I don't have to put it on my head because I don't feel like doing that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's discover some stuff about Pearl.
What's that smell?
Do you immediately understand that when the character comes into the room, she's asked immediately, what is that smell? When you encounter Pearl, you immediately smell the shit that is always surrounding Pearl. Pearl takes things so personal. Pearl thinks that you're talking about them with every video you make. They think that you're discussing them. God forbid, if you could be talking about anybody else that doesn't concern them, they want to draw themselves into the conversation because Pearl smells like shit and is always surrounded by shit.
You will need 12 pure bloods to make the ritual work. Here, is that you? He's here! He's here!
Now here's the funny thing. When Pearl recognizes that Blade, who is strong in character, strong in nature, who is a strong blogger, who has the ability to speak and to bring conversations to the surface that are necessary and that are well needed and can do it on a very exceptional level, you will hear Pearl whine and scream, he's here, he's here, he's here. He's over there on his channel. He's on the internet. He's here. He's here. Understand something. Pearl is always threatened by other individuals who can come into the presence and hold their own. That's who Pearl is, ladies and gentlemen. You will always hear Pearl whining and screaming, he's here, he's here. They're over there. They're having a great conversation. They're over there. They're talking and they're totally ignoring me. He's here, he's here.
the record keeper.
And you notice Pearl is sitting in that chair and sitting up there farting and chitting at the same time. You notice that Pearl doesn't get up during their live, doesn't have the ability to stand up. Pearl is always in Pearl's seat. All of the rest of us have walked around. And even when Pearl does walk around, Pearl walks around in a very shaky manner. It's always shaky. It's just very shaky. It's a lot to hold up for Pearl. A lot to hold up.
He's going to kill me. You need me, Frost.
This is what Pearl does. When Pearl starts a whole bunch of mess for their benefactor, Dr. Scrotum Sniffer, better known as Larry Reed, Pearl starts whining. You need me, Larry. You need me. This is what they doing. You need me, Larry. You need me. You need me, William. You need me. This is what they do. This is what they do, ladies and gentlemen. They start whining and complaining. And when you're not even paying them any attention, you could care less about whatever they do and say. I don't watch them. Listen here. They're going to probably roast the shit out of me. But guess what? I won't be hearing it. Won't be hearing it at all. This is why I'm in such a great place and space, because I have moved on, and I will never be going into a back and forth with any slovenly, fat, gross, obese, grotesque Pearl. Why would I do that? Pearl, you are reserved to the back, to the basement of the Hall of Records for the grotesque vloggers that you have to go out and try and distract other vloggers for. I have no desire to go back and forth. I would just simply tell you about fat ass Pearl, who does not have the ability nor the cognitive skills to continue to do the foolishness that they're doing. But guess what? Just like in this wonderful movie, Pearl has to learn that the person that they've been working for the entire time doesn't give a shit about them. And can I tell you all something? That is exactly, as I stated to you yesterday in my video, what's going to happen to all of these vloggers who are going and following behind Dr. Scrotum Sniffer. They are going to be left by the digital streets. And I know that you are desperate to pay your rent and to pay your bills. And so you think that you're going to step up whatever you're doing, and you're going to be met with a digital argument and a digital fight. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You are reserved for the inner resources of the paid members area. And I have reserved you for this area right here. And I will deal with you accordingly, Pearl. Pearl, you and your fat stinking ass can stay right here.
Pearl, your history. Have the good grace to die with some fucking dignity.
What did Pearl's benefactor tell her? You need to die with some dignity, because sooner or later you are going to go by the wayside as all the rest of those other vloggers. Let me tell you something, because I already know what the three blind mice is up to. If you think that you're going to get together and you're going to start some sort of panel deal, it's never going to work out. Never going to work out, because your wonder powers will never activate, because neither one of you and none of you have had an original thought to save your life.
Frost.
You need each other.
Congratulations, bud.
Frost.
I hear you've been looking for me. I'm flattered.
That's what I have to say a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen. I hear you've been looking for me. I hear you've been over there on your channel calling me Stewie, Louie, Gooey, all kinds of names, and constantly putting things on, putting my name over there on your little raggedy stuff you got doing over there. Well, guess what? I don't care. You can continue to talk about me, because every time you do so, subscribers and all the numbers keep going up, and I appreciate it. I really do. I thank you so very much.
It'll pass.
Fuck.
What is that?
That biscuit boy is a UV lamp.
Now, let me tell you something about the UV lamp that is put on Pearl. The UV lamp in the digital space is the heat and the pressure of a vlogger who has the ability to speak and to articulate to an audience cognitive thoughts and take those thoughts together in a concurrent stream and teach people a thought pattern and teach people basically how to go from one place to another place in their thought pattern and reason and make sense at the end of their statements. They don't leave you wondering and questioning whether or not the light has been shined upon a situation, a conversation. And that's one of the reasons why they hate when myself and another vlogger get together on a panel discussion and have wonderful discussions. It infuriates them because we're able to talk about these subject matters in such a way that they have never been able to do. But what happens to Pearl once the light of certain things are shined upon Pearl? Pearl starts to disappear because Pearl is not made from the digital world. Pearl is for the streets.
We're gonna play a little game of 20 questions. Depending on how you answer, you may walk out of here with a tan. What's that?
Oh, it's nothing. It's routine research. Actually, it's a video game.
Well, this is what happens when you go over to Pearl's channel and you try to get Pearl some wisdom. Pearl starts, messing with their eyebrows and looking to the side and going off and, trying to be rude and disrespectful. And you ask Pearl a question and Pearl starts playing games like Pearl don't understand. Well, Pearl, why are you doing this type of mess? Oh, nothing. Oh, Pearl just tries to pretend like they don't know what they're doing to William McCray. Oh, William, I'm not gonna say anything about your channel anymore. I'm just not gonna open my mouth. You don't have to worry about me saying anything anymore. Oh no, just gaslighting. And then when you light Pearl's ass up, Pearl starts crying like a bitch. That's what Pearl does. Pearl starts calling people they've never invited phone calls from them. Pearl starts thinking, oh my goodness, do we have a problem? My goodness. I'm just saying. Pearl is tired and through. Lord have mercy. Got ran up off the streets because, Pearl was grotesque and in a wig. Nobody's want to deal with somebody who's grotesque and in a wig. I'm just saying. What are you anyway? I'm just.
That must have hurt.
It's a fragment, a piece of the prophecy.
What prophecy?
Oh, I'm not really sure. There's so many out there.
Now this is how Pearl does. Not really sure. I don't really do. And then when you light Pearl's ass up, Pearl gets mad and Pearl starts talking. Yip, 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 but you've been talking, Pearl. You're always acting like you're not talking about people. But then when the people address you and the people have something to say, I want you to understand how skillful this is. No names have been mentioned except Pearl. You just know who I'm talking about. Don't you, ladies and gentlemen?
You're such a lazy rat like this. Look at the nurse. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Is that so?
When they start whining and complaining and thinking that they can tell us what we can do and what we cannot do on the internet, they have every right to talk about us. But the moment that we say something back, then all of a sudden we are the ones with the problem. Knock it off. Let me give you some more characteristics of Pearl. Okay. Let's talk about that. Pearl is always trying to give an exposition to prophecy. Pearl is adjacent to the person who's claiming that they're fulfilling prophecy or doing prophecy. Oh, this is why Pearl, you got to understand, this gets deep with Pearl, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Pearl has a level of comic relief. When you look at Pearl, Pearl can make you laugh every now and then. Why? Because Pearl is fat and grotesque and stupid and dumb as hell. And, they're full of jokes because Pearl has had to joke work their way through life. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because Pearl was the last one that was picked for any games outside. I don't want you on my team. Pearl's going to be the last person you pick. Pearl's going to be the first person that you hit with the dodgeball in the fucking head. You're going to knock Pearl's ass right over because Pearl can't really move that fast and Pearl weighs 4,000 pounds. So Pearl is that individual, ladies and gentlemen. Pearl is dealt with a UV lamp, causing pain. Let me tell you how Pearl is dealt with on the YouTube streets. By dealing with honesty, integrity, and telling the followers the truth. You're putting the heat lamp on Pearl, and Pearl cannot stand the heat lamp because Pearl is used to telling mistruths and misinformation and passing out information. You don't think so? Let me hip you to how I know I'm telling the truth here today, ladies and gentlemen. This is why Pearl is always in our private groups and in our private chats and coming to our private conversations and to our YouTube channels, because Pearl has to come and listen, because Pearl doesn't understand how to put a program together and speak about church related matters, because Pearl is not from this environment. Pearl is not from us. Pearl is wicked. Pearl is from the streets. Y'all didn't hear me. Pearl is an ambiguous, grotesque figure who was out there on the streets with a wig on, with their leg out, trying to solicit some young man to come and climb on their back. So sad the life that Pearl has had to live. But instead of being an integral person and growing up and being a better person, Pearl has decided to come on the YouTube streets and try and harass other content creators. I find this fascinating about Pearl. Let me give you some personality traits of Pearl. Pearl is actually quite cowardly, ladies and gentlemen. Here's how Pearl is cowardly, because if you were so big and so bad, you would have done that when you were in close proximity to the people that you're trying to mess with. Because you would have known that would have got you a completely different result. Oh, yes, it would, ladies and gentlemen. Pearl is easily frightened when you talk and say something about their benefactor on YouTube. They're easily frightened and scared, and they get nervous when you tell the truth. Pearl is always trying to appease people who are talking and dealing with them honestly. Pearl doesn't know how to deal with that. Y'all don't mind if I talk about this today, do you? Pearl is also subservient. Listen to me very carefully. Pearl is not at the top of the food chain. Pearl is just another cog in the wheel of the vlogger who thinks that they are at the top of the vlogging food chain. Come on, let's talk, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Scrotum Sniffer thinks that he is the end all and be all. Pearl is just a big grotesque little point that is in the plan of Dr. Scrotum Sniffer. At sooner or later, ladies and gentlemen, Pearl will go by the wayside, just like those other jokers went by the wayside. I'm just saying, Pearl is subservient. You can tell because Pearl cannot question Pearl's leader. Pearl cannot dive deep into their leader's bullshit and actually deal with who their leader and Cash App supplier is. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying today. Pearl, like I said, does give some comic relief because Pearl is humorous in a way, and that's how they get you. Pearl is over there, got you laughing, and you don't really realize you're in a shitty situation. But Pearl is gluttonous. Pearl is always calling DoorDash. Pearl probably called DoorDash before Blade showed up here at this here program. Pearl is gluttonous. Pearl calls in the other people's programs and says, yes, I'm laying here and I'm eating prawns. I'm eating the prawns. This is the grotesqueness of Pearl. Pearl weighs 4,000 pounds, but Pearl has always got stuffing their mouth. That's Pearl, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just giving you some characteristics of Pearl today. Pearl is only knowledgeable about certain subject matters as it relates to the COVID that they have surrounded themselves with. They have surrounded themselves with this COVID. And so that's why Pearl seems to be knowledgeable, but Pearl isn't knowledgeable. Pearl is a thief. Pearl goes around everybody's chat trying to pick up little bits and pieces and take it back over to their community, thinking that they're informing their community. And when their community has further questions, Pearl can't answer the questions because Pearl is an immobile, grotesque person who is sitting in a basement in front of a bunch of computers who doesn't understand the life that they're trying to discuss and to deal with. Am I talking good today, ladies and gentlemen? We just talking about Pearl today. Pearl does not fight. Pearl doesn't fight. The only thing that Pearl does is run off at the mouth. Pearl just does all kinds of stuff behind these keyboards and behind all of this stuff. That's what Pearl does. Pearl just yippity, yippity, yippity. I just wish Pearl would have started the bullshit before the other stuff transpired. Pearl, why you run away before you start all this bullshit? That's kind of interesting to me, but I do know how to handle you, Pearl, even when you think you're far, far away. All right, let me go ahead and continue. Pearl is actually quite vulnerable. Pearl doesn't realize that Pearl is vulnerable. Very much so. Pearl is vulnerable. And they are vulnerable because they have underestimated the individual that they are dealing with. And they don't really know me. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is fat ass Pearl. And I'm trying to teach you today, ladies and gentlemen, that when Pearl calls your phone, you hang the hell up and you tell that fat ass Pearl, don't bring your fat ass back over here trying to harass me, because that is considered telecommunications fraud. Every phone number will be recorded. The call was already recorded on the live and was told that the phone calls were uninvited. So any future call will produce a result that you don't want to deal with. And I would just simply suggest for Pearl go somewhere and continue to sit their fat ass down some damn where and don't come over here, because I'm not that dude. That's all I want to say, ladies and gentlemen. And I know Pearl, you're in here. I know you're in here, Pearl. So understand something, Pearl. You and your little vlogger friends go ahead and continue to go to your bath houses and do all of the nasty stuff that y'all do over there. Go on, do all of that. That's for you and your crew. Go ahead and do all of that stuff. Right. I mean, just regurgitating a whole bunch of stuff, Jesse. And they have to, because they don't have anything else to talk about. I mean, really, if you look at their channels, what are they talking about? They're talking about other vloggers. That's all they're talking about. That's it. That's all they're talking about. That's it. Or they're talking about other people's poor jives. They're talking about jives every day, every 5 minutes. I mean, they can't leave jives alone. Now this should show you guys the personality and the personhood of this person. I want y'all to hear me well. Jives gave this person an opportunity and had this person on their platform, gave this person an opportunity and gave this person an opportunity to start a platform and to grow. And how did this person repay Jives? By disrespecting him, calling him out his name. I mean, saying some of the most ridiculous, heinous things about Jives. That's what he did. All while claiming not to know me. But you sat over there with years while Jives was dragging the shit out of me. That's what you did. Sat right on the platform with him. But then you're going to tell everybody, oh, I don't know who this is. Pearl, you are the keeper of the records, right, Pearl? Don't you keep the records, Pearl? Pearl, go somewhere and sit down. You are grotesque. Everywhere you go on the internet, you smell like shit and no one wants to be bothered with you. And that's why I will never call your name on my platform, Pearl. You will never get that exposure from me, Pearl. You have to get that from those other vloggers who are not aware of who you are, Pearl. But I am fully aware of who you are, Pearl, with your stinking ass. I'm just saying. Listen here. Jives gave that boy an opportunity. And instead of him being respectful to him, all he did was come out and show his true colors of what kind of person he is. He is a turncoat. He is a fat, grotesque, slovenly individual. That's who he is. Now, what he should do is raise his diabetic finger and find his way to the nearest door and exit stage left. He should point himself in the direction of all of William McRae's toes. They all point left. Go left. Exit stage left and get out of here with your foolishness. I'm just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Pearl. When Pearl calls your phone, hang the hell up. Hang the hell up. That's what the hell you do. Hang the hell up. You have been forewarned. Don't do that ever again. You distasteful, low-class individual. Don't ever do that again. Because I'm not dealing with vloggers in the YouTube streets anymore. I just make everything legal. That's what I do now. No more. I'm not going back and forth with anybody. I'm not doing that at all. You do not have permission to call me. You do not have permission at all. I never gave you authority to call me at all. At all, period. Point blank. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been educated concerning what to do when Pearl calls your phone. You hang the hell up. Are all minds and hearts clear, ladies and gentlemen? All hearts and minds clear? Just thought I'd share some interesting stuff. So when you hear me say something about Pearl, you will know who we are talking about. That is Pearl. Now go sit your ass down. Well, you're already sitting down. But scoot to the left and lean over, because that's the only way you can adjust yourself in the chair any damn way. You're always leaning over. And leaning over in the seats and in the chairs. I'm just saying. Get your fat ass off of here and leave folks alone. That's all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. When Pearl calls your phone, I've got to go make some YouTube shorts for my channel. I've got to go put in some work. God bless all of you. Thank y'all so very much. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you. When Pearl calls your phone. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. Please make sure that you hit the like button, and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell icon, and make sure you press all notifications so that way you will never miss any of the exclusive content that comes on my channel. Make sure that you never miss a video. Now, I try to go live every day about 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then I come back at night at around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 10:30 Eastern Standard, with some more exclusive content. So if you want more Mad Church Disease show content, we'd love for you to become a member, a revolutionary member of our channel. Please make sure that you hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button or somewhere around here, so that you guys can receive access to special community posts. You guys get all of the access to my community only lives, because we've got some sipping chats that we're going to be doing, and you guys will get exclusive content. So just make sure that you head on over to the channel page, click on the join button, and make sure that you do that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you on my very next video.
We are Mad Church Disease, helping you understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. This is a show for everyone, believers and non-believers, from churched to the unchurched. Help us grow the channel by supporting our non-profit causes and create more consistent content. Donate by Cash App or PayPal, or buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.